beginning of time, or I say the conception of Call of Duty as a game. It's been in every single title. It is a staple of the Call of Duty franchise. And for those of you unaware, again, it is a round-based game mode in which every round there'll be an offense and a defense. The offense, their objective is to they'll have a bomb. They've got to plant it on the site A or B. If they can get it down and get the bomb to go off, they win the round. And therefore, the defense's job is to protect those sites and stop the bomb from going down. Of course, you can also win each round via eliminating the opposition. Since there are no respawns here in Search and Destroy, so there are two ways to win every Search and Destroy: by attacking or defending the site, and by eliminating your opposition. And again, every Search and Destroy map will be a best of 11, so it is the first to 6 rounds will be taking the map. And again, it is a best of 3 in each match. If you guys want to talk about any of the action that happens tonight, you can do so on Twitter, the hashtag Agency Showdown. I want to get a peek about how everybody feels of what's going on in this tournament. This is, I guess, the tail end of the tournament. We're, again, down to our final 4 teams. So all these matches tonight, I presume, or both of these matches tonight, I presume, will be incredibly tense. It's been kind of 2-0s for the past couple of days at least, so I really want to see some map freeze tonight. I want to see some intense gameplay between the remaining 4 rosters. And again, if you guys want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, you will be notified when we do go live in the next couple of days, when you go live, of course, tomorrow for the championship match. That being said, I just choked on my own phone then. It is time to get into the match. Of course, it is going to be WQ United taking on Blame It on the Wi-Fi for the first semi-final. Then it will be followed up by We Tried versus Align by EOD. That will be the second semi-final, will be the match that closes out today's Agency Showdown matchup. So let's talk about the first match. It's going to be WQ United versus Blame It on the Wi-Fi. These are 2 rosters that, again, and I'm going to say this, I feel, for all 4 of the rosters that played, made it to the semi-finals. I feel like WQ United and Blame It on the Wi-Fi are 2 very, very good teams. Again, and I say this, coming into the tournament, I wasn't really sure what to expect in terms of maybe levels of gun skill, levels of what we call game sense, as just knowing what to do in specific situations. What I've seen from WQ United and Blame It on the Wi-Fi has really impressed me. You look at the performance of both of these rosters across the entirety of the tournament, they've very rarely slipped up, if they have at all. We talk about WQ United's run through the bracket. Round number 1, they 2-0'd the Gulag guys. Round number 2, they 2-0'd the Golden Geese. And then round number 3, in the quarterfinals, they 2-0'd Paratroopers. They haven't lost a single map throughout this tournament. Talk about Blame It on the Wi-Fi. They did actually have a really rough round number 1 game against Diamonds in the Rough. That went to map number 3, where they came out on top. But ever since then, it has been plain sailing, a 2-0 over Visibility. And then, of course, yesterday's 2-0 victory over GSD Mania. That's how Blame It on the Wi-Fi have got here. But as I said, these are 2 very skilled teams. And at this point, there are very few weak links across the board. However, I mean, at this point, I'd normally say that I reckon 1 player in a specific squad is the MVP. And although there are still standouts, like I said, at this stage of the tournament, I feel like every single player has their part to play in these 2 rosters. I feel like every single player can go off at any one time. And again, and because of that, I don't really know how to call this one. I don't even know if I should call this one. Again, WQ United and Blame It on the Wi-Fi are 2 very, very good rosters, and I feel like this is going to be a very, very close affair that will maybe be a little bit too close to call. But without any further ado, I think it's a good job to get into our first map of the series. It is going to be Gunrunner, Search and Destroy. And remember, guys, this is going to be a best of 3. So we'll have 3 Search and Destroy maps if it does go the distance. 2 at the minimum is what we will be seeing in this series. So Gunrunner, Search and Destroy to kick things off. A quick rundown of the map. Essentially, this is a very one-sided affair. Of course, generally speaking, the offense will be going towards B. And A is rarely used at all as a site. It's only ever used as maybe a surprise attack. And for that reason, it's kind of awkward on the defense, actually, to really assign resources in a way. I mean, you don't ever really want to have someone watching the A site. I think that much is clear, right? So we'll see now what happens. But we are going to be jumping on board with WQ United right off the start, as they are the ones on offense, and they're going to be taking the bomb towards B. Now, straight off the bat, once again, it is going to be WQ United with the bomb in hand. Let's see what they can do with it. And it is quite a slow offense. Now, I did say that B is going to be the preferred site here, and that is still the case. Blame It on the Wi-Fi. on the defense are finally going to lose the first player. And I can already tell just the difference in skill level between these two teams. Cronenberg Jake is going to fall. Not Harry's is going to draw that first blood. And blaming on the Wi-Fi now, down to their final two men, Beautiful and Splode. A little bit far separated from each other. Just looking to retake this site now in a 2 versus 3 scenario. WQ United here. Oh, I've just gone into third person. That's not the best idea. WQ United looking for this retake. They've only got 25 seconds to work with. Let's see if they can do it. Splode with this 725 has been pretty good so far with it. Now going to have to pull off a 1 versus 3. It's actually going to happen here as Dorf and Clues now left up in a 1 versus 1 against Splode. Can Dorf and Clues win this one? 7 seconds to just check this bomb. I don't think Splode has enough time, not even to get on the defuse anymore. Splode might just jump on it in time, though. Dolphin Clues, you're going to have to check this side. Does they do it? Yes, they do. The defuse doesn't come in, and WQ United are going to win round number 1. Now we move into round number 2, and again, guys, remember here, basics of search and destroy in casual play at the very least. These guys will be switching rounds every 3 rounds. So WQ United do have 3 rounds on the offense. They win their first as they make their move towards B. Let's see what happens as they go towards A. Blame it on the Wi-Fi. Have sent 1 player over here, so not having that many problems in terms of, I guess, splitting their resources. And it will be Splode with the 725. You could maybe catch a couple of players off guard. So WQ United slowly but surely make their way up the map towards B. Wolfen Plus with that M4 going to get taken down by Splode, and there it is. But oh my goodness, does not see the Claymores waiting right in front of him. Now down to a 1-on-1. Beautiful versus 1D. 1D spotted out Beautiful, and that's kind of unfortunate there. Beautiful knew they had to check the bomb. Doesn't quite work out. And there it is. 1D going to close out round number 2 in WQ United's favor. We shall see now whether or not WQ United move forward with a 3-0 start here on the offense. Once again, you guys do have to kind of remember this is an offensively sided map. So for WQ United to start this one 3-0 up, it wouldn't be that much of an upset, even if it may throw Blame It on the Wi-Fi off in a mental state. But still, WQ United have started this offense pretty well. Cronenberg, Jake, and Splode in a 2 versus 3 now. Make that a 1 versus 3 as Cronenberg Jake falls to 1D. Split bomb is now down. Splode stuck between a rock and a hard place. Almost gets the turn on with the 725. Doesn't happen. As WQ United now 3-0 up here. I did say it's not that much of an upset, so they don't need to stress. WQ United now 3-0 up, as I said, but this is an offensively sided map. Let's see if Blame It on the Wi-Fi can claw things back here on this round. Not Harry's is going to be defending A, but all on their lonesome. Can they face down a very aggressive Blame It on the Wi-Fi offense? Not Harry's just going to hear it. Gets that first kill onto Beautiful. Maybe not ready for the second just yet, but luckily now has some backup in the form of 1D. Going to turn around for the kill onto Cronenberg Jake. A lot of those shots were missed. Cronenberg Jake gets away with their life, and just like that, Dorf and Clues now left up in a 1 versus 3, but close by is Dorf and Clues as they take out Cronenberg Jake, looking for the second, but Splode with the shotgun is going to claw back the round for Blame It on the Wi-Fi. And for a second there, I was stressed to Blame It on the Wi-Fi. I thought they were really going to chuckle that, but it doesn't happen. Splode finishes off with a 725. And again, this is something for me that I feel like I've really noticed across this tournament. Splode is just one of those players that is just so good with that 725. For me, at the very least, come very much synonymous with the weapon, just as Dorf and Clues has come synonymous with those dual 357s, which he just pulled out, but I don't think they're going to see any use just yet. Or maybe they will, as WQ United now going to have to defend a B-site push hit from Blame It on the Wi-Fi, and this is why you need to dedicate a little more resources to defending this B-site, because they Blame It on the Wi-Fi have got it down scot-free. Not for long, though. Dorf and Clues takes out Splode. Not Harry's takes down Cronenberg Jake, and Beautiful falls as well. And that's a beautifully swift retake from WQ United. Dorfenklus picks up 2. Not Harry's does take out Cronenberg Jake. And blame it on the Wi-Fi, folks. They're struggling here against WQ United. This roster is looking pretty good on Gunrunner. And to be honest, I do like this from WQ United. Now, I don't know how much these teams actually watch the stream, but I've said this a couple of times in regard to the sort of the strategy that teams pull out or maybe use on search and destroy. If you have the bomb and you basically have a free defuse and you've got all the enemy team down and you've got a solid like 40 seconds to defuse, you may as well let that time go by, because therefore your utility, your special, I guess, ability, in this case the majority of people's is the dead silence. Harry's actually is quite good with the drone. It will actually recharge to full. It gives you basically a free 40 seconds where your special abilities are recharging and blaming on the Wi-Fi's aren't. And that is the strategy that WQ United just employed there. As blame it on the Wi-Fi now on their final offensive round, have lost one. As WQ United have managed to amass a 4-1 advantage. And at the very least, blame it on the Wi-Fi, claw back around before they switch back to the defense. And once again, they're angling for an A push. Going to have to make it past 2 WQ United players. Not Harris, who's watching short, and one DQ is watching long. But Splode is going to die in the mid-map, and that's going to complicate things here for blame it on the Wi-Fi, as now Jake and Beautiful may look to move themselves over towards the B site, but I don't think that is actually going to happen. Beautiful is still going to carry on looking for that first blood, and they do get it against Not Harry's. That is a good start here for Blame It on the Wi-Fi. They may have lost Splode, but this entry onto the site is now a lot easier to pull off. Whereas Beautiful is now going to utilize one of those stim shots. Probably not the best place to do it. Elsewhere, Dorfenklus takes down Cronenberg Jake. Beautiful, though, going to respond with that good kill onto 1D. Unfortunately for Beautiful, the bomb has fallen on the mining tracks. And I think Beautiful now has been spotted out by Dorfenklus. Dorfenklus now just has to wait this one out. Do not play this too aggressive if you're Dorfenklus. I mean, look, you're not on the defense. You know bomb is down. You do not need to play too aggressive, and I think that might just be the way Dorfenklus is going to play it. Maybe not. Gets a little bit aggy, but it doesn't matter. Drop shots for the final kill. Beautiful will not win that one-on-one engagement. And just like that, folks, WQ United here already starting 5-1 in round count. What a performance from them so far. But I have faith in Blame It on the Wi-Fi. They're not a team to give up easily, not at all. Maybe if Splode can get something going with that signature 725, WQ United will be in trouble. For now, they only need one more round, and they're already 1-0 up in this series. Now Not Harry's with the drone. Let's see what information they can gain as this bomb sits in the boiler room. Oh dear, Dorfenklus and 1D win their respective one-on-one engagements, and the drone is going to reveal the position of Splode. Splode is going to win that first fight with the 725. Not Harry's, of course, is well aware of where Splode is. There's some shots down. Now Splode going to have to sneak their way out of this one like a game of Pac-Man. Do not want to get caught by those pesky ghosts. Claymore does go off, and that doesn't actually affect 1D all that much. It may have tagged, but Splode not going to walk away with a free kill. Instead, this 1 versus 3 will have to be pulled off manually. Splode now has this 725. Actually has the right idea here that this bomb is going to be planted over towards B, but that door opening is going to alert WQ United to Splode's location. May as well give him a damn GPS while you're at it. Splode, though, going to win this first gunfight against 1D. Makes it a 1 versus 1. Splode versus Not Harry's. Again, I said that Splode is the key to this for Blame It on the Wi-Fi. The key to maybe clawing back at least a round in this scenario. To not losing in round number 7. Can Splode pull off this 1 versus 1? Hasn't quite located Not Harry's. I think Not Harry's has spotted out Splode, but it's not going to matter. Splode shots are just that little bit better, and they will pull off the 1 versus 3. Blame It on the Wi-Fi are not going to lose here in round number 7. We will see another round between these two teams on Gunrunner. Great 1 versus 3 for Splode, and potentially maybe something that will turn the tide in this game. Of course, Blame It on the Wi-Fi had their backs well and truly against the wall. Not much room to breathe in that situation. WQ United have done a great job of really applying the pressure to this Blame It on the Wi-Fi side, but still, they may have lost a bit of that pressure there with that round loss. A 1 versus 3 is not something you give away easily. Let's see how WQ United react, of course. They are still on the offense here. They will still look to get the bomb down at B. But Blame It on the Wi-Fi will earn a portable radar off the back of that. That's going to be down to Splode. Let's see what information they can gain with it. Splode going to look for that first kill. Not going to find it. Beautiful, though, with a trade. Now we're in a 2 versus 3. Here come the streaks from WQ United, though, trying to defend that B site. Not going to tag anything, but just going to waste a bit of time. But that doesn't matter. Cronenberg Jake takes out Dorfenkloos in the locker room, and now it's down to 1D to defend this site with 20 seconds left. And if you're 1D in this situation, just protect the bomb. Don't bother about anything else. They get beautiful, and now 1D puts this to a one-on-one engagement versus Cronenberg Jake. Jake, you've got to go for that bomb, my friend. You cannot just sit back and wait for 1D to push, and Cronenberg Jake no longer has enough time to get to the fuse. It will hand the win in the round to 1D, and WQ United are going to move on in this game with a 1-0 series advantage. What a perfect performance out of them there. A couple of split-ups, to be honest, but that was just great resistance from Blame It on the Wi-Fi in a few rounds. Again, Splode really the highlight for this Blame It on the Wi-Fi roster. The 1 versus 3 really boosting his KD up to, I think it was like 7-6 in the end. But again, great performance from Blame It on the Wi-Fi, but an even better performance from WQ United. And a special shout out to Dorfenkloos. 11 kills at the end of that search and destroy. Really crucial, I feel like, in the majority of rounds where he did make a contribution. Special shout out to 1D as well. 8 kills to his name. Great performance overall from WQ United. And for that reason, they will now be 1-0 up in this series. At the end of Gunrunner, it is not all that close, I think it's fair to say. Let's see if they can close it out in game number 2. We'll be going to a second Call of Duty League map here. It's going to be Ramaza Search and Destroy. For those of you unaware, of course, as I said, Ramaza, it's in the Call of Duty League rotation, and it is in the Call of Duty League rotation for a reason. It is one of the best goddamn Search and Destroy maps in the game. And look, it's fair to say it is a very well-designed map. It does kind of benefit close quarters combat over anything else. So maybe if you're using a shotgun, maybe using a submachine gun, this is the map for you. But there is also the option for AR players and for sniper rifle players to have their day 2 on the construction with that overlook over the bridge towards the A site. So there's a little bit of both here, a little bit of something for everybody. But this is kind of one of those maps where, played in a competitive setting, Ramaza is incredibly fun. Like, Ramaza is such a brilliant map. Again, you know, the sub play on this map, the sort of the level of tactical play, it's so good. If you guys want to see the tactical play, the level of, I guess, the highest level of tactical play possible on Ramaza Search and Destroy, you could probably get to see it pretty often in the Call of Duty League. You can do that on the Call of Duty League YouTube channel, where I believe Challenges is going to go live on Sunday. That being said, I believe Ramaza Search and Destroy is about to get underway. And again, Blame It on the Wi-Fi, already 1-0 down in this series to WQ United, and it wasn't a nice experience on Gunrunner at all. So let's see if things change as we do go into Ramaza. It is worth noting that with that win, WQ United continue their 7-map win spree across this tournament thus far. They are yet to lose a map. Blame It on the Wi-Fi have now lost their second. Let's see if WQ United can remain flawless going into the championship match here in the Activision Blizzard Media Agency Showdown. WQ United now making their way towards the B site. Blame It on the Wi-Fi have sent 2 players there on the defense, so they've made the right call. It's going to be Cronenberg Jake and Beautiful. Cronenberg Jake with the MP7 in hand, trying to use this long range. Unfortunately, that half wall, that head glitch, as we like to call it, the waist-height cover from 1D, a little bit better with the M4A1. Beautiful falls as well to yet another beautiful kill from 1D, and now it's down to Splode and a 1-versus-3. And, well, we've seen Splode pull these off before. Can he do it again? That is the question. Places a Claymore down. I don't think that's going to catch anybody off guard, not in the position that he's in right now. So, oh dear. Well, talking about Claymores, beautiful Claymore placement on the flank for WQ United. And for that reason alone, they will win round number 1 with a flawless performance. No players falling. Blame it on the Wi-Fi now. 1-0 down in this one. WQ United looking to have just as a flawless a performance as they did in that first search and destroy where they won it 6-2. Not Harry's going to place double claymores down, covering the backs once again. Blame it on the Wi-Fi. They don't really know it yet. They don't realize it, but they have actually surrounded Dorfenklus. You are, unfortunately, going to take a lot of fall damage. Oh my word, Dorfenklus literally has no idea that he is surrounded by 3 players on Blame It on the Wi-Fi. Now he certainly knows. Explode takes him down with a 725. WQ United's assault on this B site just got a lot harder. Blame It on the Wi-Fi have reversed their way on the flank. Not Harris can get this down. They stand a chance of winning this round, but still, Blame It on the Wi-Fi have the numbers here to work. How well will they work them? That is really the question now. Blame It on the Wi-Fi have to get control of what we call Grandma's house. Rainbow Jake, though, just going to jump straight on the defuse. WQ United, are they going to check this defuse? There's one player straight already on the defuse. I think Cronenberg Jake gets away with it, and what a call there from Blame It on the Wi-Fi. Guys, we've got the numbers. Let's just jump a player on the defuse, and that is exactly what happens. Blame It on the Wi-Fi there. Walk away with the round off the back of a great heads-up call from Cronenberg Jake. And now it is 1-1 here in the search and destroy. WQ United seem to have lost their sting somewhat after what was a great clutch against Blame It on the Wi-Fi. Let's see if they can recover now in their last offensive round before we switch. Straight towards mid-map they go. Of course, Cronenberg Jake playing this one extremely aggressive. Turns on Not Harry's, does get traded out. But the aggression from Blame It on the Wi-Fi is going to shake up things here for WQ United. Explode, though, now left up in a 1 versus 3 as 1D does take out Beautiful. Explode with his 725 in hand. Now, while I did say this was a very close quarters map, it may not be the best for the 725 sometimes. That M4 may prove a little bit better. Of course, now the bomb planted at A, Explode going to have to make their way over there to pull off what will be a 1 versus 2 clutch. 725 coming out for these close quarters engagements on top of the bridge. Little does Explode know here that there's players down to their right-hand side. Explode just looking to find an entry here. Straight towards the site. Now, the thing is, technically speaking, nobody from WQ United is actually watching this bomb. Now, though, Explode going to look straight for the fight. Gets the first. The second down to their left. I don't think Explode is aware of it. Has to get on the defuse sooner or later, and will take their time with it. Unfortunately, that's going to give Dorfenklus a little bit of time to work with, and WQ United will be 2-1 up here, folks, after Explode fails the 1 versus 2 clutch. Now Blame It on the Wi-Fi here. 2-1 down in the search and destroy, but right off the start they look to play aggressive on B. Unfortunately, that doesn't work out. 1D is going to do well on the defense to take out the head of Cronenberg Jake, and that surely is going to slow up this offensive push towards the B side. Once again, 1D placing those double claymores down. Here's a little hint for you, 1D. When you place down 1 claymore, it generally speaking does enough damage to take out an opponent. You don't actually need to plant both claymores down in the exact same place. It's what we call overkill, and I don't mean the perk. I mean overkill as in just a little bit too much, buddy. But Beautiful and Explode in a 2 versus 3 here can still pull this off as they rotate over towards A. Dorfenklus, I think, may have spotted that, but maybe not actually. Explode has just spotted Dorfenklus, is looking for that kill, unfortunately unable to do it with the kill. Dorfenklus comes in for the pre-fire, not going to matter. Explode finally able to finish it off with the M4. Going to reload the 725, gets a couple of shells in the shotgun. Now for Blame It on the Wi-Fi, this becomes a lot more possible, but they still have to be wary because Not Harry's in 1D are looking to re-entry into the site before the bomb is even down, and it works out quite well for 1D because they take down Beautiful. And now Explode is left up in a 1 versus 2 here, folks. Explode, the clutch player for a Blame It on the Wi-Fi, has 30 seconds to work with, 30 seconds to get this bomb down on A. Now, you could theoretically wait this out I mean, just try and bait out what would be a rotation, but I don't think that's what Splode is going to aim to do here. Instead, I think Splode is just going to look to get this bombed out. Might get spotted out by unwind, and that's what's going to happen. As WQ United here, folks, are going to be picking up a 3-1 advantage in the S&D. Now, WQ United still 3-1 up in this search and destroy on the defense once more, as blame it on the Wi-Fi now. Traverse the map to go towards A, it would seem, but maybe not. Maybe actually rethinking this just momentarily, thinking, hang on. Let's just check out our options here. Is B possible strategy? Well, it actually might be a little bit more probable than the A site now, as Dorfenclus kicks off with first blood. Not Harry's responds with the second onto Cronenberg Jake, and just like that, Splode is going to have to pull off yet another 1 versus 3 if blame it on the Wi-Fi want to win this game and of course survive to see the championship match against what would be either You and We Tried or aligned by EUD. That will be our second semi-final to come right after this. For now though, blame it on the Wi-Fi. 3-1 down in the search and destroy. Splode, bomb in hand, could still pull off this clutch, but has to be a little bit silenced. And that, fortunately, the lack of silence really does come back to bite them in the bum, and WQ United are able to pick up a 4th round here, folks. The 1D with the M4 in hand. Turns just at the right time to deal with Splode, who opens that door rather clumsily. And now, WQ United. 4-1 up. They have looked so good across the entirety of this tournament. Are they about to 2-0 their opposition in the semi-finals of the Agency Showdown? Well, wouldn't that just be something? Tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised. The way they have played this tournament has been, well, pretty good, to say the least. Blame it on the Wi-Fi, though, have also been just as good of a team, if not better. They just haven't really had a good go of it against WQ United, but they can turn things around from now. Of course, it is a best of 11 at the end of the day, and being 4-1 down, there are still potential 6 rounds to go in this S&D. Let's see if blaming on the Wi-Fi can turn things around in their favor. It's not Harry's takes down beautiful. Now blaming on the Wi-Fi. Already in a 2 versus 3. Make it a 1 versus 3. Not Harry. Corner camps for the penultimate kill in the round. And now Cronenberg Jake is the next up to the bat to have to pull off a 1 versus 3. And I do feel somewhat bad for blaming on the Wi-Fi here. They are just getting picked off time and time again, leaving one of their players in a 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3. It is always a clutch situation that is required of a blame it on the Wi-Fi player. And hey, maybe they will blame us on the Wi-Fi. Who knows? But for now, they don't have anything to blame on anything. Cronenberg Jake throws out a smoke, trying to get a feel for whether or not this B push is possible. But I feel maybe rotating over towards A. And what I haven't realized here, folks, actually, is that a WQ United player has lagged out of the game. Dorfenclus has fallen by the wayside, and, well, he can blame it on the Wi-Fi, actually. Potential power cut, actually, but maybe it's not the Wi-Fi. You never really know what happens with some of these players connects, but still, blaming on the Wi-Fi now, maybe have a chance here, as Cronenberg Jake will get this bomb down on A. How do WQ United react? Not Harry's and unwind. Looking to encroach on the side. Now, if they play it correctly, right? I mean, this is I guess, just hypothetical. But if they play it correctly, they should be fine. unwind now, left up in a 1 versus 2. This lobby has fallen apart, actually, right in front of our eyes. I feel like I'm watching Avengers Infinity War right now. The player's getting snapped away, but it's not going to matter. Blaming on the Wi-Fi will win the one-on-one engagement. Kind of fortunate there. I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on with the lobby, but we won't worry about it all that much. As Cronenberg Jake clutches up around, and now it's going to be unwind, going to 1 versus 2 every single round for WQ United. Well, let's get on board with unwind. Let's see what they can do. As, of course, unfortunately for them as well, they are going to be switching towards the offense. Actually, I don't know. Is that more of a positive, I guess? The fact that Blame It on the Wi-Fi don't really know where you're going to go? I guess it could be. Well, now they certainly do, as 1D puts those shots into Explode. Oh my god, 1D and Cronenberg Jake just walk past each other. They don't quite realize it. WQ United is going to be able to make this rotation over towards A. Uncontested, Blame It on the Wi-Fi will sooner or later realize that this rotation has been made. But 1D planting this bomb down will add what we call a second man on the map. Of course, another problem for Blame It on the Wi-Fi. And 1D again, double planting those claymores down. I will again say that is entirely unnecessary, but again, I'm just a caster. Who knows? 1D though wins that first fight, gets away with their life. Dead silence hasn't been earned, so this running around on the map will make quite a bit of noise. Heartbeat sensor in hand. Now, if I'm 1D here, I literally just wait around the corner, continually pull out the heartbeat sensor, and do not be concerned with anything else other than just defending that bomb. Don't get overly aggressive. You do not need to, 1D. Just check this bomb. When Explode's on it, the claymores are gonna let WQ United know where one of those players are. And just like that, folks, WQ United, after a 1 versus 2 round from 1D, will take the search and destroy round and will be 5-2 up here in this game. Well, Blame It on the Wi-Fi. I actually have 4 players now on the team. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen, as everyone has reconnected. And Blame It on the Wi-Fi will actually therefore have a 3 versus 2 scenario here. This has been a bit of a wacky conclusion to the search and destroy. Nonetheless, Blame It on the Wi-Fi and WQ United will just roll with it. I think Blame It on the Wi-Fi take these odds 10 out of 10 times. Of course, they technically have had an advantage in every single scenario. What would have been a 1 versus 3 for Cronenberg Jake was reduced to a 1 versus 1 for their second round win. And they were actually just in 2 versus 1 there versus 1D when 1D was able to win the round. So Blame It on the Wi-Fi have, technically speaking, had the man advantage and haven't really been able to work it in their favor. That being said, WQ United. I mean, if you actually look at the stats right now across the board, if you weren't aware that players disconnected, it would look kind of hilarious that 1D was actually 9-2, and Dolphin Clubs and Not Harry's hadn't even had an effect on this game. But of course, the reality of it is, they have had an effect, and now will start to make more of an effect as Dolphin Clues picks up that first kill with the M4A1. Blame It on the Wi-Fi now, 1 man down. Dolphin Clues is going to plant this bomb. Explode is close, but not close enough to have a say in it. Now, Jake and Explode here for the 2 versus 3 to save Blame It on the Wi-Fi's hopes and dreams, to stop them from placing top 4. Need to retake this site and get the defuse right now. Explode makes their way up with this 725. What they don't realize is there's a player right on the outside ledge, and that's not really a spot that anybody ever checks at all. Time is ticking away. You need to go now, Blame It on the Wi-Fi. You cannot sit there and let this go by. Cronenberg Jake isn't fast enough. Does get that first blood, though. Explode is going to fall. Jake doesn't even have enough time to get to the bomb. And just like that, ladies and gents, WQ United will be moving on in this tournament. They will be going through to the championship match, where they will be faced down by either We Tried or aligned by EOD. They keep moving forward with the W key press down, and what a performance from them. Flawless search and destroy so far from WQ United. Every single match they have played has been a 2-0, and even though this one was a little bit janky in terms of those dropouts in Ramasa, it doesn't matter. The skill that they showed just pulls through time and time again. And congratulations to them, because they are going to be the first team in our Agency Showdown Championship final. So congratulations to WQ United. Again, skill and game sense is what got them there in the end. Commiserations to Blame on the Wi-Fi, but I wouldn't even say it's commiserations, to be honest. Top 4 placement out of 32 teams that entered this tournament. That is not bad whatsoever. And to fall at the penultimate hurdle, although it might hurt a little bit, it's still a pretty good placement. And I will be very proud if I was any of the players on Blame It on the Wi-Fi, especially some of those that I've been highlighting as maybe MVPs and good players over the course of this tournament. That being said, we're going to throw it to a quick break, guys, before we get into our next match of the evening, our second and final semi-final is going to be Retried versus Aligned by EOD for the final spot in the championship match of this Agency Showdown. Do not go anywhere because it is going to be a cracker. We'll be right back after this. Hey everybody, welcome back now to the Agency Showdown, brought to you by Activision Blizzard Media. If you're just joining us here, we're getting to our second semi-finals between You and Me Tried versus Align by EOD. This match is going to be our last semi-final of the day. We already have one of our teams that will be making it through to the championship match that we play tomorrow, of course. That'll be WK United. They've already guaranteed themselves at least second place in this tournament, but there can only be one champion, one Agency Showdown champion, and of course that'll be decided tomorrow, I believe at about 5 p.m. Eastern times when that final will be going live. That being said, WK United need to play somebody in that final, and that will be between You and Me Tried and Align by EOD for that final spot. If you're just joining us here, my name is Infinity, and I'll be guiding you through all of this action tonight. I've already casted one of these semi-finals. I think it's time to talk about the second. You and Me Tried versus Align by EOD. These two teams have dominated the tournament, just like WK United and Blame It on the Wi-Fi, the two semi-finalists who actually played in the other semi-final. You and Me Tried, just to give you guys a rundown of sort of how their tournaments look so far. They started out pretty strong with a 2-0 over a Kimbros. It was actually in the round of 16 where they faced their first bit of trouble, where they went 2-1 over the hashtag Agency Life team. But their quarterfinal was a little bit easier, of course, 2-0ing the off patterns with little resistance from that side. Moving on to talking about Aligned by EOD. Again, same kind of situation, 2-0 over JHL 2020 in round number 1. It was a map number 3 performance from them against Wreck-It that got them through in the round of 16. And then finally moving on to the quarterfinals. Yesterday, of course, we saw them face the Inner Circle, in which they were able to 2-0 pretty easily to make it into this semi-final. And again, it's the same kind of situation as when I talked about WK United and Blame It on the Wi-Fi. At this stage, all of the players across the board should be performing. Everybody should be putting in a shift to make it to the finals of the Agency Showdown, where there is a lovely, lovely trophy waiting for the ultimate winner of this Agency Showdown. What I will say though, before we get into this, the final match of today, is you guys need to make sure that you are subscribed to this YouTube channel, because if you're not, you might miss when we do actually go live tomorrow. So do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And of course, if you guys want to talk about any of the action that happens tonight and tomorrow in that wonderful final, you can do so with the hashtag Agency Showdown on Twitter. That'll be where we'll be talking about everything that goes down in this tournament. That being said, semi-final time, folks, between You and Me Tried and Align by EOD. Again, this is going to be for a spot in that championship match where the winner of this one will be facing WK United. And we're going to get things kicked off here on St. Petrograd. It's Call of Duty League map after map after map today. We've had Ramasa so far. Now we'll be jumping into St. Petrograd for the last Call of Duty League map that's currently in our 6-map rotation that we're doing here today. For those of you who haven't played St. Petrograd before, I believe it's set in Germany. I'm not entirely sure. It could be Paris or something like that. I'm not entirely sure where it's set. I think it is Germany though. I'm probably going to get roasted for saying that. It's probably not Germany anymore. But yeah, setting in a metropolis area, a nice metropolis area. And then in Search and Destroy, you kind of have like, again, your 2 bomb sites. B is actually the preferred site here, I feel. So that's where you're going to see teams heading off. And again, as kind of WQ United and Blame It on the Wi-Fi showed, in this level, in the semi-finals, you are expecting to see the kind of, not necessarily high-level plays you would see in the Call of Duty League, but at the very least, some of those same strategies applied to this level of play. So do not be surprised here if we see, generally speaking, teams just rushing towards the closer bomb site, because that is, personally speaking, how I see this one going. But again, things can change. In the early rounds of this tournament, I think the other bomb site was actually seeing quite a lot of play. So don't be surprised if that does happen. We shall see. What I am interested to see is whether or not anybody pulls out a sniper rifle, because there is a nice, very long line of sight right down the mid-map where a sniper rifle can slice it like having a hot knife. And if they can do that, if they can get some of those early snipes off, it will actually give their team the advantage. So let's get into St. Petrograd Search and Destroy. Map number 1 in what is a best of 3. So regardless of what happens in this map, we will see a map number 2. But it's just whether or not we see a map number 3 that seems to be rather elusive in the Agency Showdown. We haven't actually been able to see a map number 3 in quite some time. Let's see whether or not that is to be the case. You and Me Tried, of course, on the left side, Align by EOD on the right. You and Me Tried starting off on the defense. I forgot to change my podcaster names, which is just perfect. So if I call anything wrong, that's my own idiocy. We tried though on the offense, and they will be so for 3 rounds straight. Now, luckily for them, Aligned by OD haven't actually touched the B site whatsoever. They, of course, went straight towards A. That is actually the right call to make. But what you do need to do is, as soon as you know you have full control over A, and you're like, hey, hang on, we tried are actually here, you need to make that rotation over towards B. Now, they have done so. Not quick enough to stop the plant at the very least. So that plant is going to go down. Now, 40 seconds here for we tried to defend this site. Trades go down, and right away it is down to Yevkin for we tried in a 1 versus 2. Luckily for them, they do have a second man on the map with that bomb. Just need to defend it. There's 25 seconds left. Of course, Aligned by UD is going to have to reserve 5 seconds. Oh dear, Yevkin prematurely fires some shots off. Surely El Conquistador is going to have to spot out where Yevkin is. Can't shoot for that wall, my friend. You're going to throw out a nade to just get him to come out. Now you've got to run to the bomb. Does El Conquistador have enough time to jump on the defuse? Potentially. I'm not going to call it just yet. They might not have enough time, and they do. El Conquistador does walk away with the defuse, and Aligned by EOD are going to start this one 1-0. Great start there from Aligned by EOD, and a good 1 versus 1 clutch from El Conquistador to properly play in that scenario. Just going to pre-aim where Yevkin was sitting, and then of course throwing the nade to bait them out of the position. That is a great play from Aligned by EOD. Let's see how we tried respond. Of course, we will actually see sniper rifle play from Tuneman, who is actually one of the more proficient players in this tournament with the HDR. Unfortunately, not going to tag anybody off the start. But this coverage in the mid-map could be really problematic for for Aligned by EOD, and it will be. Tuneman picks off El Conquistador on the cross, looks to get the second, but at the very least, will give the information to her teammates on we tried that, hey, a player is assaulting the site, and just like that, Yevkin gonna act on said information. Jib falls for Aligned by EOD, and it is now DK David here in a 1 versus 3. What can David pull off? Never mind. Just like that, we tried here. They may be able to just tie this one up at 1-1. Yevkin's going to win the important fight. The one-on-one engagement goes their way. GK David can't even cross the street before falling. Well, then on the Wi-Fi now. Last round on defense for them. Now, every single round so far, they've actually sent 2 players straight towards A and 1 player in the mid-map. They have actually therefore been unable to really cover that B site properly this time. Jib is ready for it for Aligned by EOD. The pre-aim with the M4 doesn't actually work out though. Kill switch comes out swinging for we tried. Jib is going to fall. And now we tried have actively opened up this push towards B. GK David once again the closest player. Sorry, actually El Conquistador is going to be the closest player for Aligned by EOD. Has actually activated that dead silence, but unfortunately not much movement being utilized with it. Gonna actually spin out into the mid-map, picks up Tuneman, picks up the second as well and gets to Yevkin. Kill switch though, gonna pop up, not gonna finish that bomb plant. It does come down therefore to a one-on-one engagement between GK David and Kill switch. Aligned by EOD relying on GK David here to stop this bomb plant, and well, look at this positioning from GK David. Has the finesse. That burst assault rifle is gonna pick up the kill. And just like that, folks, we're gonna see Aligned by EOD end their defensive run, 2-1 up. Well, Aligned by AD now have the advantage, and now they're the ones on offense. Not a single A push coming out of either side just yet. Let's see if Aligned by AD change that, and they look like they will. Tried haven't done that good of a job of making their move towards the A site. That being said, Killswitch is able to pull off that first blood onto Jib. The second right in front of him, unfortunately, still affected by that stun. El Conquistador are going to be able to swing around the corner and pick up 2. It's down to Yevkin in a 1 versus 3. Does have dead silence to work with, but does come from behind. El Conquistador picks up an ace in the round, and Aligned by EOD here, folks, looking pretty good. Now, once again, aligned by EOD on the offense. What a performance so far from El Conquistador, picking up 7 of the 9 kills that aligned by EOD collectively have garnered. Now they 3-1 up in this search and destroy. Bomb in hand for GK David. They look to plant it on A. This time around, though, UME they have a couple of players around the site. Tournament in apartments. This is a power position, and it might just become all the more powerful. But unfortunately for Tournament, El Conquistador has their number. And now, of course, aligned by EOD in a 3 versus 2 scenario. UME now looking to pull this off. Of course, trades coming in. Kill switch takes down El Conquistador. Jib responds, though. And now down to Yevkin, 1 versus 2. If they can swing down this corner just in time, they'll stop this bomb plant from GK David, and they will. Brings it down to a 1-on-1 engagement now, but unfortunately for Yevkin, Jib is right on your back. And just like that, folks, aligned by EOD, now 4-1 up. Brilliantly played. Well, now, aligned by AD, 4-1 up against We Tried. We Tried once again on the defense, playing this rather reserved. That's not going to work because aligned by AD have already made their way onto the A site. Although they are not maybe as fast as they should be, I'm still confident in this aligned by EOD side. Because their one issue they have to be concerned about is kill switch up top with this M4A1 in hand. Have to get past El Conquistador, and they won't. Just like that, aligned by EOD have some medium of control over the site. Tuna Man coming on the flank, but Jib pre-aims for it, takes the shots, but unfortunately just the call is going to be made. El Conquistador is there to pick up the slack. And just like that, folks, Yevkin now left in a 1 versus 3. Is going to get the first kill, so this is more than possible. The bomb now planted on A. How quickly does Yevkin react? Not quickly enough. Jib is going to come around with the dual pistols. Unfortunately, not able to actually pick up the kill. And now it's GK David in a 1 versus 1. Yevkin is just 1 kill away from pulling off the 1 versus 3. Dead silence has been used for Yevkin. I wouldn't be walking around as proactively as GK David is. Oh my goodness, turns around at the completely wrong time. Yevkin is going to be there for the preem, and hey ho guys, we have a 1 versus 3 from Yevkin. We tried, not done in this one just yet. While aligned by ED looked to be walking away with it, Yevkin comes out as the savior for We tried. What a 1 versus 3 there. What a clutch. Well, 4-2 up. Oh, this aligned by EOD side. We switch sides once again as now We tried played the aggressors. Now, in their first offensive run, they didn't go to A whatsoever. This time, they look to be changing that as kill switch with the bomb in hand has their eyes set on the A bomb site. Once again, it will just be 1 player from aligned by EOD defending this site. It will be El Conquistador. Let's see what they can do about it. Of course, El Conquistador in the power position does spot out Yevkin. And I don't actually know if they did spot out Yevkin, but they do spot out kill switch. No matter what happens, Tuneman at the back of the map. Fortunately, hasn't been taken down, but is pushed away from the site. And if they can deal with Yevkin, Tuneman will realistically not be all that much of a threat. And they will. Never mind. Tuneman somehow able to pick up that kill. Nade thrown out. And I believe that actually the defuse was just brought up by GK David. I didn't notice it. GK David there has balls to just jump onto the defuse, and I don't think that Yevkin would have even thought to check that. Or Tuneman would have been thought to check that, sorry. Now, aligned by EOD here. 5-2 up in the search and destroy. Let's see if they can move forward with a 1-0 series advantage. El Conquistador, again, I've called him out as the MVP of this lineup time and time again, and is having a belter of a performance at 11-5. Of course, has the support from Jib and GK David too. Couldn't do without him. And yet still, I did say before this one that I felt that Tuneman was the player to watch out for you, and we tried. Currently 3-5, has been silenced by a very aggressive, aligned by EOD roster. But now, we tried with the bomb in hand. Looks to take it towards B, and Killswitch for garnering that first blood against Jib could be extremely helpful. Aligned by EOD need to win these fights. Unfortunately, El Conquistador runs straight onto the tracks, loses theirs. And now it's just down to GK David, 1 versus 3. The FAMAS is not good at that range. And just like that, we tried, folks. They are not going to lose here. They get another round on the board. It's now 5-3. Well, now let's see if aligned by EOD can finish it in this round, of course. This is their second chance at doing so. Of course, their last chance on the defense before they switch to the offense for the final set of rounds in this search and destroy. Let's see what we tried can do. Well, they have an open goal at the A bomb site. They could plant it down with little to no repercussions. Just as I say that. El Conquistador making waves, making moves through apartments. Now, technically speaking, Yevkin doesn't really have much help at the moment. If El Conquistador can strand this bomb over towards crates, this would be really problematic for this tried side. Fortunately, while GK David may take down Killswitch, that kill from Tuneman onto El Conquistador is going to secure the site momentarily for we tried. And now it's just down to Jib in a 1 versus 2. Pre-aim coming out from Yevkin. They have his number. And guess what, guys? We tried. They're pushing it to another round here. They are not done by any means. Now, aligned by AD. Back to the offense they go as we go to round number 10. Straight towards the A site they go, but it is going to be a streak here. Is this from we tried the streak? It is going to be we tried. They're streaking the A site. It is going to force aligned by ED away from the plant. Momentarily, it will buy them some crucial moments, some crucial seconds of time. They don't really do all that much with it. Tuneman now making their move up to the apartments. El Conquistador wins that one-on-one engagement. And now aligned by ED with the advantage in this search and destroy. Looking to finish it in round number 10. we tried. Just down to Killswitch and Yevkin for the clutch. Yevkin tries to enter on the side. It's not going to happen. El Conquistador waiting at the top of the stairs. And now it's Killswitch left up in a 1 versus 3. GK David peeks out. Isn't going to fall. Jib some shots in too. And Killswitch here with the stim is actually going to survive the initial engagement. But you can see now aligned by ED hunting them down. Jib grumps around the corner. And just like that, folks, we tried. 6-4 down. It is going to be map number 1 going the way of aligned by ED. Great performance there. Really great performance from aligned by ED. And to be fair, from we tried. They were what? 5-2 down in that search and destroy. They managed to claw 2 rounds back. I thought for a second that we were going to see a round 11 in that one, but unfortunately, that is not what happens. So congratulations to aligned by AD. First round goes their way, but they're not done in this series just yet. We are going to have to see how they can do in this next round or this next game. I'm unsure what the map is just yet. I'm going to have to sort my podcaster out real quick so I do not call the wrong names on stream. I believe it is Backlot. That is what we are told. Now, what we do know about Backlot, folks, is that it is a map that has thrown a number of teams off time and time again. You know, we talk about Backlot. It is a map that is kind of new. No, it's not new to the COD franchise, right? And I'm sure if you guys were here yesterday, you will have heard me talk about this. It is not new to the Call of Duty franchise, but it is new to Modern Warfare. It is actually, it's just come out in Season 3. And for that reason, I think for a lot of these players who maybe didn't play Call of Duty when Backlot was in the rotation back in Modern Warfare, this is a map that is essentially going to be brand new to them. And for that reason alone, it's thrown so many teams off. That being said, it is a map that is very kind of easy to understand. The A site is the most preferred site. It is very close to the offensive spawn. For that reason alone, generally speaking, you just see teams clash on that A site right off the rip. We talk about B site. I mean, that sometimes does happen. You know, it is a site that can be used to throw teams off. So do not be surprised if it is played. But generally speaking, the A site is the better site to go to here on the offense. But as I said, Backlot, it's a map that's thrown many teams off in this tournament thus far. Let's see if you and we tried can use this to throw a line by EOD off. Already being 1-0 down in the series, they can't really afford to make any mistakes. Let's see how they handle Tausig Backlot. Of course, as I said, a new addition to the game for Season 3 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's been a nice addition too. I'm really enjoying Backlot, casting it here. It kind of makes me want to go play some Call of Duty for Modern Warfare Remastered, you know, the 2016 game. Makes me really want to go play that, but for all the remastered Modern Warfare maps. That being said, now, you and me tried. Going to start things off here on the offense, and they will be in that same position for 3 rounds straight. Aligned by E on the defense. They're taking my advice. They've gone straight towards A. You and me try to use this to their advantage. They're going to hurtle towards B. Bomb in hand for Tuneman. Now, you and me tried are going to get this bomb down. Killswitch is going to have to be careful because they have allowed a couple of players to filter through. One of those players is going to be GK David, but Tuneman deals with that threat. El Conquistador, another player that's filtered through, is going to take down Tuneman, but a great response from Killswitch, who actually uses their position to their advantage. And just like that, Yevkin is going to close out the round. You and me tried here, folks. They are going to take round number 1. Well, you and me tried now. Once again on the offense, and once again moving straight towards B, it would seem. They have definitely learned a thing or two from their last game on Tausig Backlot. Line by AD, put a couple of players over towards defense on A. They have also sneakily had DK David waiting in over at B. El Conquistador picks up the second kill as well, and straight up, here it is. Tuneman left up in a 1 versus 3. Who is currently sitting in a corner with the bomb in hand. Best they could realistically do is catch a couple of players off guard. And they do catch one off guard. Jib is now down. Of course, dead silence hasn't been utilised. It has been utilised by El Conquistador, and aligned by EOD are going to take this one. 1-1 now here, folks. Of course, if you're just joining us, you won't know that aligned by EOD are 1-0 up in the series. You and me tried now. They can then move forward. Unfortunately for them, aligned by idea getting very aggressive. El Conquistador doing what they did previously. I remember this. Jumping straight up onto that dumpster. Takes down 2, and it leaves Tuneman left in a 1 versus 3 here. Hasn't even picked up the bomb in the round. Just catch a couple of aligned by EOD players off guard. The drop shot comes in. Unfortunately, the shot's just not better there than that aligned by EOD player, and they will lose their offensive round 2-1. Will be Jib with the perfect shots with the MP5. Line by AD right now. Very aggressive offense from them. We're seeing our first push towards A in this game. Yevkin takes advantage of that, of course. But is that a 725, folks? It seems it is, but El Conquistador has their number in the flank. And now Tunaman has been called over from the B site. They have a long way to go. It will not stop this bomb plant. 1 versus 2 here. And Tunaman puts those first shots in. None of them going to connect. And unfortunately for UME tried, aligned by EOD, repeating history here. They're now 3-1 up in this S&D. UME tried. Let's see what they can do now on the defense. Is aligned by ED now, have the bomb, and they're surely going to be carrying it towards A once again. Jib with this 725 in hand, peeks up top construction, isn't going to find anybody just yet. Instead, aligned by ED have gone straight through the mid-map. Jib doesn't realize it yet, but technically speaking, they could plant this bomb at A with little to no consequence. Unfortunately for them, UME tried have all those angles covered. Aligned by ED, their offense falls apart, and UME try to claw back around here. It's 3-2, but still in favor of aligned by EOD. Killswitch picking up the final kill with the MP7. That silencer is pretty good. UME tried now. On the defense. Let's see if they can tie this one up at 3-3. A stun thrown out from a line by AD. That will actually give them some precious seconds to entry onto the bomb site before UME tried get there. You have to be rather wary, of course, though, because they do have to be careful of Tunaman's presence in the mid-map. That MP7 is still pretty good at long range. M4A1, even better. Aligned by EOD now. Surely going to get this bomb down any second, and here it goes. Tunaman with those long-range shots, perfect onto GK David. Now in a 2 versus 3 here, aligned by AD, just have to defend the site. But unfortunately, for aligned by AD, this is one of those sites where it is very easy to re-entry. And looking for the first shot, Tunaman gets it from far out, and now it's El Conquistador in a 1 versus 3 here. MP5 in hand. You're asking for a lot from this man to pull it off. Unfortunately, has too many angles to watch. And just like that, folks, it's 3-3. Aligned by EOD here. Going to lose the round as we switch back up to aligned by EOD on the defense. As I said, guys, we are switching again. It is every 3 rounds where these guys switch sides. So UME tried are now back onto the offense. Killswitch going to take an L for the first kill as Jib wins that fight, but Yevkin and Tunaman respond in very quick succession. GK David now in a 1 versus 2 hit. Of course, does have overkill, so both an AR and SMG to work with, but never mind. Just like that, folks, UME tried 3 rounds straight, aligned by EOD here, have lost their advantage, and this is looking pretty good if you're a UMG we tried, we tried fan in the chat. I presume there is definitely UME tried fans in the chat. Show your support for your squad. They're going to need it here. They now have their advantage after 3 rounds back to back to back. Can they make it 4? That is the question. Once again, Killswitch is going to be your designated bomb carrier for UME tried. Aligned by ED. Send 1 player on the defense over towards A. That will be Jib. But most importantly, I feel for these past few rounds, they've successfully shut out El Conquistador round after round after round. And now, once again, it is left up to GK David in a 1 versus 3. Bomb is down on the B site. Or on the A site, sorry. And now you look at Tunaman in the position once again. GK David. Peeks open the door. Peekaboo. And UME tried now find themselves 5-3 up in this search and destroy. Just 1 round away from tying the series up to 1-1. where we will see a map number 3 for the first time in a fair few series. Now 5-3 up, we tried. They have a few chances at closing this search and destroy out. Here's their first as they barrel towards the A site. Once again, El Conquistador isn't dealt with early on in this round. Able to get one, able to get two. Now it's just down to Yevkin in a 1 versus 3 here. 7:25 in hand. Does get that first kill. Second right in front. Instead just going to walk away for now. Feel like now Jib throwing a nade up. That second nade will land, and aligned by ED are not done in this one just yet. And once again, I feel like really the secret here for aligned by ED is the fact that El Conquistador, when they are not shut down, things really change for aligned by ED. They're actually the best performing player on the lineup still, having only won 3 rounds, have reached 10 kills. Nobody in the lobby is fragging higher than this guy. But yet still, aligned by AD, down in this search and destroy. UMB tried putting in a team effort, really, to perform here. Going to have to spread themselves quite thinly on the defense as we switch sides for the final time. Aligned by AD on the offense. Straight towards B they go. Have to be wary of Tuneman, who is once again up top in the power position. First few shots go down, and Yevkin and Tuneman going to win their respective one-on-one engagements. It's down to El Conquistador in a 1 versus 3. Does pick up that first kill. Has to be wary though, because getting streaked is El Conquistador. Guess the second kill, surely not the 1 versus 3. Surely not gonna happen. Kill switch closes out the round. And hey guys, we get our first game number 3 in a damn while, as UMB tried are going to close out the session. Sorry, for a second there I thought El Conquistador was going to be able to close out the 1 versus 3, but unfortunately El Conquistador does not have the support from their team. UMB tried there, but well, they tried pretty hard, and it works out in the end as they do take it 6-4. I will say again, just as close as we saw from map number 1, I believe that finished 6-4 as well. Look, these two teams are so well matched. You look at UMB tried, you look at aligned by AD, both of the rosters are putting in a shift. I will say, I feel like on the aligned by AD side, I still think it's a little bit tilted in favor of when El Conquistador performs, their squad performs. When he doesn't perform, when he doesn't show up, I feel like Jib and GK David in a little bit more trouble than maybe they otherwise would be if El Conquistador wasn't there. But that doesn't matter, guys, because we're going to a round number 3, or game number 3, sorry. Regardless of what happens, we are going to see a Hackney Yard search and destroy for the conclusion of this series. Couldn't ask for a better map, of course. This is a quite long-range map, and it gives more of a chance for the ARs to really show up and prove themselves to be some quite good players in this scenario. Honestly, I couldn't even call how this one's going to go down. Again, I kind of said that Tuneman is the heart and soul of UMB tried, and again, they actually showed it there. You know, statistically speaking, the highest performing player on the roster once again with 9 kills. So you look at this squad, and again, I kind of feel like this is maybe true for a lot of the teams in this tournament so far. You have like the one player that is maybe better than the rest of the roster, and then the rest of the roster kind of like performer support players, and that's how I feel about both of these teams. Tuneman on this UMB tried side, again, performs well in that map number 2, and again, they take a win. So brilliantly played there from UMB tried. They are able to tie this one up. And as I said, guys, our first map number 3 in quite some time. I think everyone here in the Activision team is happy about it. I'm super happy about it. Let's get it underway. It's going to be Hackney Yard S&D for our final map in the series. Who doesn't love a final map search and destroy? It's a staple of competitive Call of Duty. You know, everyone loves map 5 round 11s, and hopefully we can have a map 3 round 11 here between these two sides. That would be just the cherry on the icing on the cake, as it were, for this series, because again, this has been an incredible semi-final. But only one of these two teams, sadly, can go through. And I think that is kind of one of the sad realities of a single elimination bracket at this point in time, is like, you lose a team here in this stage of the tournament, and it's kind of like, yeah, they're both great teams, but only one can go through. One of them is going to finish in top 4, which isn't a bad placement whatsoever, right? You really got to say that, right? Top 4 is such a great placement. And you know, it isn't bad when you thinking about the fact that 32 teams came into this. Top 4 is pretty good. Top 2 is better. Championship match is a much better place to finish, but still, you can't be too disappointed if you're either You and Me Tried or an Aligned by AD, and one of you falls out here, because again, it is just such a great, I guess, a great achievement to get to this point in the tournament. So everyone at this stage of the tournament should be pretty proud of themselves that they proved themselves as some of the best of the agency clients in Activision Blizzard Media. So congrats, guys. Great stuff. For now, though, we're going to be jumping into the map. I believe Hackney Yard Search and Destroy is ready. So let's get it underway between You and Me Tried and Aligned by EOD. One of these two teams will join WQ United in the grand finals of this tournament, the championship match to decide who will be the Agency Showdown champion. And You and Me Tried it once again going to start on offense. It's going to be the stim shot in hand for a kill switch, and oh my goodness, a very, very swift round from You and Me Tried there, able to start this one 1-0 over Aligned by EOD. Kill switch immediately ready for the second kill off the back of that stim shot. And I just love how swift that actually was. Aligned by AD hit. On the defense, let's see what they can do. They had a great map number 1. St. Petrograd. Unfortunately, couldn't really replicate that success when it came to Tausig Backlot. And here we are in map number 3. But this time around, looking pretty good as El Conquistador takes down Tournament. Jib squashes the hopes and dreams of Yevkin. Now it's Kill Switch in a 1 versus 3. Oh, the execution. Thank you, Kill Switch. I'm so happy that you've done that for us. The execution looks pretty good on camera. Unfortunately, the follow-up isn't all that great, but the execution was, well, executed rather well. Still, it is going to be Aligned by ED, tying this one up as GK David closes things out with that P90. You and Me Tried now make their way towards the B site, trying something a little bit different here on their final offensive approach, and it immediately works quite well. GK David is forced away from the engagement, but if only to go for a straight flank. Unfortunately for him, yeah, Killswitch is watching that, and You and Me Tried already have a man advantage in this one. To be rather careful though, because El Conquistador is close by, able to pick up that first kill. Almost gets taken out from behind, but it is now going to be El Conquistador looking for an ace in this round. You and Me Tried, well aware of where El Conquistador actually is. But I suppose the one good thing for El Conquistador here is that they do not actually have to be the aggressors. I think that is El Conquistador's plan regardless. Their chance has been utilised. Going for that first kill onto Kill Switch. We'll get it. Trying to walk away from the fight. Unfortunately, not going to be able to. Actually backs into it incidentally. And You and Me Tried able to close their offensive rounds with a win as Yevkin shotguns El Conquistador in the legs. Now we move into round number 4. You and Me Tried, of course, have bomb once. Or sorry, they don't have bomb anymore. Aligned by OD have the bomb. They move towards B. And Yevkin now, with this M4A1 in hand, looking for this first engagement. Unfortunately for them, Aligned by EOD. Well, actually, as I say it, Aligned by OD run right into the line of sight of Yevkin. Yevkin is ready for it. El Conquistador takes out Yevkin, and now it's El Conquistador and Jib in a 2 versus 2 scenario. El Conquistador going to trade things out as they take down Yevkin. One will go down for Jib. How much room does You and Me Tried give Aligned by ED to breathe? Quite a lot, it would seem, as Killswitch unable to finish that kill onto Jib. El Conquistador takes out Tournament, but there is a trade being made, and Killswitch, obviously having taken those first shots into Jib, knows exactly where they are, but unfortunately doesn't know anymore. Jib comes around the corner, picks up that kill, and it is 2-2 now, folks. This search and destroy could not be closer. by AD now. On the offense once again, they move straight towards the B site, and a well-placed nade here from Jib. Semtex is going to connect the second kill with the M4A12, and that leaves Tunaman in 1 versus 3. Jib looking for the ace, and they will get it. And just like that, aligned by EOD, 3-2 up in this one. retried, now lose the advantage. Now aligned by a 3-2 up here against We Tried. And their final offensive round, they've chosen the A site, and it works out rather well as El Conquistador draws first blood, but Killswitch with a great response. Now they and Yevkin have to retake this site. 40 seconds remaining on the clock. Jib and GK David going to throw out some utility just to scare off Retried. Be rather careful though, because they've got a bit of tunnel vision right now. They're keeping an eye on one line of sight. As you can see now, Killswitch on the minimap looking to pull off a pincer movement with Yevkin. They have to time this right if they want to catch Jib and GK David off guard. And maybe they will. Here it comes from Killswitch. Gets the first kill. Now GK David left up in a 1 versus 2. Throws a thermite down on the bomb. This could work out actually really well as GK David wins the first fight. Stims up for the second, looks for the engagement. It's already done enough to just run down the clock. There will not be a defuse here, and aligned by EOD are gonna win that next round 4-2. We Tried, unfortunately, cannot pick up the defuse. Now aligned by AD here, 4-2 up, giving themselves a 2-round cushion to work with. Can they close it out on this set of defensive rounds? We Tried are going to apply the pressure over towards A. They've already made their way into the site. Unfortunately for them, El Conquistador are going to get the better of Tunaman. That's already going to leave them in a 2 versus 3. And just look at this aggression from aligned by AD. El Conquistador makes the move forward. Has to be careful though, because Killswitch is actually going to pre-aim in that site, not for long. The collapse comes in, and aligned by UDD. Going to find themselves on map point here, folks. As GK David comes flying in through the window, Yevkin just isn't ready for the shot. We Tried now have to have a flawless search and destroy performance. If not, they will find themselves done in the semi-finals of the tournament. Top 4 is where they will finish in the Agency Showdown. And although they said it's not bad, aligned by EOD, well, their place in the finals just a little bit sweeter. GK David going to draw first blood onto Yevkin, Killswitch, and Tunaman now left up in a 2 versus 3. Make that a 2 versus 2. Tunaman gets to get that first blood on to GK David, but they still have yet to plant this bomb, and you feel like Jib and El Conquistador may just squeeze it a little bit here. Jib now coming in on the flank. El Conquistador picks up that first blood. It's now down to Killswitch for a 1 versus 2. 4 of the clutch picks up the first kill. No, they don't. And El Conquistador will put aligned by EOD through to the semi or the finals here against WK United. We Tried. They really did try in the semi-finals, but unfortunately they didn't try enough and will be done in the semi-finals. Congratulations to aligned by EOD. They joined WK United for the best of 5 finals tomorrow. It is going to be pretty awesome to see all of this 32-team bracket come down to just 2 teams. But again, congratulations to aligned by ED. Commiserations to We Tried. Unfortunately for them, they just couldn't make it through. But what a performance from aligned by ED in that game number 3. They performed so well. Everybody pulled their weight. And once again, though, it is El Conquistador on top of the pile with 10 kills. So congratulations to them. They will be facing WQ United in the grand finals of this tournament, the championship match tomorrow. It's going to be so great. I'm looking forward to it. I am so looking forward to this match tomorrow. 32 teams entered the Agency Showdown from over 20 agencies, and it comes down to just 2. WQ United will take on this aligned by EOD side for a place, well, for the title of champions of the Agency Showdown. It's going to be a great conclusion to the tournament, and of course you guys better be there for it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because then you'll get the notification of when we go live. I believe 5 p.m. EST is when this tournament will reach its conclusion. Thank you to everyone for tuning in though for the semi-finals, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m.